welcome to the Cottage. I am Babs with Cottage Rogue. This is my 39th Flosstube, and welcome returning subscribers and new viewers, potentially new subscribers, to my channel that's predominantly about cross-stitch. And it's been a couple weeks, and I have stitched a lot. As y'all know, the Olympics have just passed with the closing ceremonies, and I partook in the Stitch the Winter Olympics. Also managed to finish one of my 2 WIP goals, one of them being to stitch on kits at least 5 times during the month, and that is all done, which thank you Stitch the Winter Olympics for that. And now I'm working on my full coverage. So I've only stitched on one full coverage thing this entire month, so I need to rectify that, considering that today is the 23rd of February. So I have 5 more days to do that in. Oh well, assuming I got all my dates right, of course. I'm not looking at a calendar right now. But you know, everyone sit back, relax, grab a favorite project, and go ahead and sit down, enjoy, and let's get through our cross stitch. And I first want to share with you my very first, not 1, but 2 finished objects. I am so excited. Okay, so the first one that I am calling a finish is called Cherish. It's a Bucilla kit. Anyways, this is not exactly what the kit looks like, but this is where I'm calling it done, because what I'm doing is I'm going to save this, and whenever someone I know gets married, then I will go ahead and put the date and their names underneath, and we'll call it good. But oh my gosh, this was so much fun. I will admit it was interesting trying to figure out some of the spacing, because apparently past me made an error in the width of the cake. It's a little bit wider than what it should be, but that's nothing a few extra pearls couldn't fix, and I just kind of did my best on the back stitch here in the roses. I think it turned out quite lovely. I think it's very pretty. I do love the ribbon rosettes, which that was also a very past me as well. I think I started this in the early aughts, or maybe around 2010 or so approximately. I do not remember, but it's really nice to have this finished, so I will go ahead and get this ironed and then put it away for later. For sure. But this was really fun because I managed to get some embroidery in. We got the back stitch, we got the pearls, and I can tell you that the back stitch made this. Absolutely made this come to life. So it's beautiful. As much as I'm not a fan of backstitch, I do it because I know it's going to look so much better afterwards. So yay, I am very happy with this finished object. And my second finished object was a piece that I actually adopted. So this is a start and finish for me. Now, this is called Laundry Day. It is a dimensions kit. Now, most of the stitching in here, the full crosses, were completed. Not all of it, like the lighter portions were not completed. So I had to finish those. And then there were other random bits and bobs of stitching that wasn't done. And then predominantly the cross stitch, or the back stitch, all of that was me. And I managed to finish this on the last day of the women's figure skating. I don't remember which one, if that was the shorts or whatever, but it was the last day of the regular figure skating that was only the women's. And this was so much fun because I love the different thicknesses of the backstitch and how it gives it different depth and perspective. For instance, all the backstitching in the laundry basket and what made up the socks, that's all one strand. The lettering here in laundry today or tomorrow, that's 2 strands of backstitch. And then this word right here is 4 strands to give it a bold appearance. When I saw this, I just laughed. I'm like, I have to get this. And it's going in my laundry room because I'm not really a huge fan of doing laundry, especially not folding it. So I thought this would be a really nice reminder. This Ada does feel a little dirty though, however. So if any of y'all have any tips or tricks on washing projects, I've never actually washed a project before. And, you know, if this one gets a little ruined, it doesn't bother me so much, but I would like to know the proper technique to wash a project. So that way, when I get some of my like full coverages done and I need to get out some of the oh, what's the word? The grids and that sort of thing. I just don't want to ruin anything. It terrifies me. So please let me know what you think. And what I should do, or if there's a site to visit or whatever. But this is cute. I think it's fun. And even though I didn't have a lot of stitches on this, I had a lot of back stitch that I did. And I love this font. Oh my gosh, this is like my favorite part. This, and also this yellow piece of clothing, this looks like a plucked chicken to me. It looks like a plucked chicken. Can't you see it? And you will never unsee it now. For sure. But those are my 2 finished objects. So I'm very excited about that. Now for my WIPs, I did 8 other WIPs. Those finished objects and 8 other WIPs. So it's 10 total projects that I worked on in February, which was a lot. And keep in mind, most of these I did for Stitch the Winter Olympics. And then, of course, there's also a few other ones that I just threw in there before that started as well. So we're going to first start off with He's a Fun Guy. It is by artwork by Hannah Dale. It's a Bothy Threads kit. This is what it will look like. So cute. Isn't he such a cutie? Oh, I love it. I love it. And it's on Speckled Ada, which is a Rendale Design Speckled. And I did a lot since you've last seen this project. So I filled in the entire belly here. There's still some more going out on the edges, but you can clearly see little hands, little feet, or maybe I should just say 4 paws. We have the tail, and then I'm slowly working in different shadings in the mushroom. Like this is underneath the mushroom cap, and then of course the mushroom top part itself. So I think it's super fun. It's super cute. I did work on this a bit during our Eastern Iowa cross stitcher retreat. I wouldn't necessarily call it a retreat meeting where we all meet up like once a month. So yeah, it's so fun. So this was a gift from my mother-in-law, and I've been having a really fun time stitching on it. It is so much fun, and it's just cute. I love the mushroom, and that mouse is an adorable little guy, and I really do want to get like the pairing to that, where I guess there's a mushroom and then there's 2 little mice underneath the mushrooms. So cute. Anywho, I digress. So the next one, WIP that I've worked on is the Poison Garden Sal by TinyModernist. And for all of these, if I have pictures of my befores, I will put those up. I believe I do for at least some of them, maybe not all. So just wanted to share that out. But this is where I am so far. Poison Garden Sal. So I actually have the Nightshade bottle complete. It's all filled in. The pumpkin is all filled in. And the leaves, but I need to get the Nightshade flowers and then all of the backstitch and the little raven that's going to go here. Now this one I did add an extra row in the bottle. You can't tell just by looking at it, but I've just got to be mindful of that because there's going to be more stuff on the sides, and I just have to be mindful on how it looks and where I do everything. Like where I anchor everything to. So I may just anchor everything to the pumpkin and the bottom part. The second part of this cell is already out. I haven't started on it yet, but that goes down here. So we're gonna get the whole middle portion, and then down here will be the mandrake, which is fun. So this particular pattern, I wrote it down. We have a 36 count linen. Its color is called Frankenstein, and it's dyed by BeStitchMe. I think it's so pretty and also kind of perfect for, the nature of this piece. So this one's really, really fun, and I really enjoy it. And in fact, when I get finished with my next piece, I'm going to be focusing at least a couple weeks on this to try and get caught up. I'm going to do my best anyways, but my next piece is Fall Library. Right here, this is by Colorfully Sarah. It is almost done. I am so excited. So today, Monday, is the start of a new week. And the only thing left that I need to do is all of the little like flourishes that go between everything. Like there's some tiny pumpkins and some random dots and some little flowers, just really cutesy things. I love it. I cannot wait. This is one I'm doing with my friend Brina, and it's kind of like our makeshift stitch along or so. And then once we get done with this after this week, then we will go ahead and pick out another piece and probably start that a week or two later, just to give ourselves a break and a chance to catch up on the Poison Garden sale by TinyModernist. So yeah, but Colorfully Sarah, she has some gorgeous patterns. She recently had a Valentine's Day sale, which is nice. So if you like this sort of thing, got to check out her website every once in a while. Not a sponsor, by the way. I just really like her stuff. It's very beginner friendly too, which is awesome. But the last book we did was this orange one. This was the most recent. Although I think maybe you haven't seen the purple one finished either. Like I said, if I had a comparison, I would have put that up there. But this is on 18 count Devil's Claw, also dyed by BeStitchMe. And it's just, it's beautiful. I love it. And this is Aida fabric. So I'm getting more of a variety of types of fabric now, which is absolutely fantastical. So I'm excited to pull out different fabrics and stuff, because I do love the vibrant colors on some of the linens for sure. But the next one I have is Stitch for Pride 2025 by D's 20 Stitches. So this is the whole thing right here. Woof, let me back it up. There's really not a good way to do this. Hold on. There we go. And I am on July still, but I did quite a bit, which is most of this wing right here. So I just need to finish off the wing and then do the little crown and do the other words on this side and finish off the snake. So I know this one I did for Stitch the Winter Olympics, for Stitch Something Patriotic. And I didn't have anything patriotic for my own country at the time because it's in the mail now. So I'm waiting for that. I did purchase a couple of Mirabilla's Lady of the Flag and what's the other one? The gold one, Lady Liberty. That one. So I am, and I should be getting that in a couple days. So I'm really excited for it. But in the meantime, this is what I worked on. It's also an eagle, which, you know, I consider that to be very patriotic as well. And I am loving it. Just the patterns and everything. It's so much fun to stitch. Now I have my winter bonfire night with this mess. So big with all the fabric and everything. But I didn't get very many stitches on this. I got under 200, I believe. But here's where we are for sure. And I, to this point, don't even remember what. I think I know what I did. I think I started filling it in. And so I could fill in this part, and then, yeah, it was one of the blue colors. You probably can't tell the difference. But if you can, kudos to you. I just wanted to get some of it filling in. Actually, so I recently, my phone died, so I had to get a new phone, and the resolution on this phone is so amazing. Like, you can see the individual stitches. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. But yeah, so anyway, I can hold this up really close now, and now you can absolutely really, really, really see it, which is so cool. But I worked up here to fill this in more and see all these little speckles of white of the fabric showing through. That does not bother me. I know it bothers some people, but not me, so I'm good. And then plus back here, which is where most people are going to look at it, it looks very dark and lovely. I'm enjoying this quite a bit, but this is supposed to be my focus piece for 2026, and I realize I'm not doing a very good job on that. So I'm going to pick up the pace on this probably beginning in March, because there's a few things in February that I still want to continue on working, and a few of them I didn't get to work on as much or at all. So I have this week to do that. And that is my goal. But I love this. This is Winter Bonfire Night. Artwork by Lars Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is absolutely beautiful piece. I would love to do this in 10 years or less. I don't know if that's going to happen because I have so many other projects. At least I'm whittling them down, right? So one of the kits that I did this month is called Stack of Critters by Makiko. Here's what it will look like when it's finished, except the background will be white. And this is a dimension stocking kit. This is one that I'm stitching for my sister-in-law for her family. And here is where I am so far. Oh my goodness. You're starting to really see the face come out and be a bit more defined here. I believe I have, some more of the arms and a lot of blended threads that I did for this. I don't feel like I did a lot on this, but I know I changed my needle thread often. But that's partially because the strands are very short, which is fine. But yeah, I'm always surprised when I do blended threads in this. I know the middle gray color in there is a blended thread between white and the darker one. So, you know, fun stuff right there. And you will see more of this coming up in the next couple months. Just because I'm not very far in this and I want to get this done this year with plenty of time before Christmas. So that way, if my sister-in-law decides to turn it into a stocking, then she can. I'm not going to fully finish it, but I will stitch it for her. So that way she and her mom can go ahead and stitch it out because I am stitching it for them. And it's fun. It's really cute stitch. And I don't usually do those like really cutesy ones for kids and stuff. So it's been a nice change. I'm already on my 7th WIP. This is called Tiny Sampler by La Di Da. This is a free pattern. And this is my tail end project. So all of these different floss colors are tail ends from my projects that I had stitched actually last year in 2025. Because... well, I basically quit grabbing them because, like, you know, saving the ends, because I do use the ends on projects, but also because I have so many for this. And I don't have another project in mind. I just wanted to try it out and see how it looks. So we'll see if I continue doing a tail end project or not. But this has been fun so far. So it's just a little teeny tiny sampler. I worked on these letters. This letter Z and also the V through Z. And then this little like a border and stuff like that. Yeah, I've already made a mistake on it. It's totally fine. I'm not going to change it at all. I realize there's some ghosting going on with some of it. That's fine. This is an experiment. I also realized that there's like a no border here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. I think I may... like, I don't know, make like a little pouch with it or include it in my collage of tiny things, which I haven't made yet. But I do have some very, very tiny cross stitch completions that are smaller than this even. And I think it would be really cute to have like a bag or a jacket or something that I can then stitch them on like a patch. And that way, or use embroidery to stitch them on, because I think that would be super cute. And then I'll have a record of just a whole bunch of cute little stitches that I have done over the years. So I think that's just the cutest thing. So this is going to go on I'm just going to call it a bag of tiny things right now. Or I will turn this into its own little bag because I can totally see this as part of a bag that I can put floss in. And considering how many different colors there are on this, I think it would fit really nicely. So we will see how that goes. So I have one more WIP, and this is called Bleeding Hearts Brew. It's by Haunted Frames, aka Amanda Elliott. And I'm stitching this because, well, it's one I started last year for Valentine's style, but this year I'm doing it for Selena's birthday style, which is #BirthdayDragonSal. And you can see what she's doing on her channel, Spicy Selena Crafts. I'll put the link in my description below, but this is where I am right now. We have this beautiful 20 count hydrangea fabric by Fiber on a Whim, and this is a dragon in a teacup. And right here, this is the dragon's breath. We have spikes here. There's actually a few here. I feel like this darker pink is the only one that's actually really visible. Until you get like a whole bunch of it here, because I mean you can definitely see it here when I put it up close, but Oh my goodness, in photos, it does not show up. And then as soon as I bring it back here, you can't see it at all, but it will show up and it will be gorgeous. I have just acquired the floss for the dragon neck itself, which is more of a mint green color, which is going to be so pretty. I'm very excited for this. So this is one of the ones that I do want to work on again this month. So we'll see if I could get at least another strand in on this. Because it would be fun, and I think it's super cute. So it's very pretty. I would love to get this done this year, but we will have to see how things go. That's just how it goes with me today. Those are actually all my WIPs, all my finished objects. I didn't have any new starts except for the one that I finished, which was laundry day. So that's good. I'm really excited about Nashville Needlework Market. I have been marking down things that I want, and things like I'm going to wait for the PDF on that, or I have to have that, or whatever. I'm going to try to finish out this month with working on, of course, the projects that I already have, putting away some of the kits and stuff for now, and focusing more on my winter bonfire night, as well as my stitch-alongs that I have. And of course, finish up fall library. That's what I want to do. I don't have a lot of time this week because I'm super busy and I have company coming in this weekend and the following weekend and all that other stuff. So it's just kind of crazy. For March, I was considering, and I probably will do this, I was considering focusing on 4 or 5 projects just for the month. Mainly because I found that in January, for most of January, I think I worked on maybe 5 projects and then rotated between them. And that worked really well for me, which was amazing. I got out of that habit at the end of January, and then February, I was all over the place. And that happens to me every single February, it seems like. And because, I had a Valentine's sale last year, and then this year was the Stitch to Winter Olympics, which are both very, very fun. But I feel like I'm being pulled in a bunch of directions. So I want to kind of rein that in. Now, what that means is that my Flosstube frenzy is going to have to be a little bit different. So I had it planned out. I had 13 or 14 Flosstubers I was going to watch, each with their own thing. But I find that I'm not watching the Flosstuber and I want to show my support. Is a thing. So I may just put it down to watch my Flosstuber and then have 4 categories or whatever and 4 pieces and then divide it out that way perhaps. I'm going to try it and see if that works for the month of March. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to be okay, well, I'm going to cut it down to these 4 or 5 pieces, and then I'm going to watch whoever I want to watch when I want to watch, as long as I'm working on a piece. And that may be what I have to do. And then, of course, I can always throw in a small every once in a while if I really, really want to work on one. But I really want to see how it is when I don't work on, 8 to 12 projects in a month. Because I want to make some progress, and I loved having those finishes. I absolutely loved it. My numbers, my stitch count is going to be super low this month because of all the backstitch that I have done in those 2 pieces. And I also took probably a week off, and since, February is a short month, that's a lot of days for sure. So I still feel accomplished because I finished 2 things so far, and I'm hoping to finish 3 things this month, which is going to be absolutely amazing. That puts me ahead so far for the year. So if you made it this far, please go ahead and put a purple heart in the comments below. That's for the dragon that's on that beautiful purple hydrangea, the Bleeding Hearts Brew. And thank you so much for being here. You all have been absolutely amazing. Thank you for the birthday wishes from the last Flosstube video that I had. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, my cottage is always open, and I will see you all in the next Flosstube. Bye-bye.